said 7.8 miles, but I'm 5 miles away from Aldi. So this should be a nice, quick first order here. Thank you for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. If you could go ahead and do me a favor and give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, comment. I'd love to get to know you, and let's get our day started. Good and I got bad on that order. Good news is that I made $14.75 in 40 minutes. The bad is that delivery was to a third floor apartment with 2 cases of water. So thankfully I'm strong. Out of shape, but I'm strong. So I was able to get all the grocery bags up in one trip, and then I carried both cases of water at the same time up to the 3rd floor. All for a $2 tip. So there's that. Alright, I had turned on Uber Eats as I parked, with the hopes I wouldn't get screwed, because I'm not necessarily in a part of town I want to be in, but I didn't want to waste a bunch of miles, so it's kind of in a weird situation where I didn't want to have to decline a bunch, because if you remember correctly, I'm also on that quest on Uber Eats. And I didn't want to, I'm already at 17% acceptance rate on DoorDash, so I didn't want to tank that even more, but at the same time, not wasting miles. These are the things that we stress about. But this kind of worked out. I'm going to pick up at Zio's. It's a New York bagel place. And it's $11 for 11 miles. However, it gets me one more trip on my quest, and it takes me right back to a place that I want to be. So I consider that a win. Okay, I have the order from Zio's. I had to wait a couple of minutes because they had asked for apple juice, but they didn't have any, so the other options were orange juice or cranberry juice. When this happens, I am going to obviously contact the customer. The deli also tried contacting the customer. They said they tried calling a few times and they didn't answer. I messaged them just letting them know they don't have the apple juice. Would you like orange juice or cranberry juice? But even when it's a really good order, I'm waiting 3 to 5 minutes tops for you to answer me. You know you have placed an order. You should be available to be contacted about that order. So I did what I could. They didn't answer. So we made an executive decision and chose the next most popular drink, which is orange juice. If that's not what they wanted, then they needed to be available to answer the phone when 2 different people tried to contact them. If they want to contact support to get a refund because they didn't get the right drink, that's fine. It just sucks because a lot of times they act as though it's our fault that we made some sort of mistake or that we made the wrong decision, but we can't make the right decision 100% of the time without your help. We need you to tell us what you want, what you need. So I don't know, when I put in an order, I'm kind of glued to my phone, not necessarily watching where they're they're at or where they're going, but making sure I'm available for updates, especially like if I'm doing, well, I don't do it anymore, but when I used to order shopping and have them delivered, you know, I have 3 kids, and when they were smaller, it was just easier sometimes to have the groceries delivered. I get that. But I made sure that I was kind of on the page of my shopping list so that if and when they came across something that needed to be replaced or refunded, that I was there to answer whatever questions that they had. That way, if something goes wrong, it's not their fault, it's mine. It's my order. I should take responsibility for it. Now, if a driver just doesn't contact you and is making decisions about your food, that's different. I understand that. But, you know, we're all out here just doing the best that we can. The customer just answered that text message about 13 minutes after I asked her. I hope she didn't think that I waited around for 13 minutes at a store for her to answer. She said cranberry, which is not what I chose. And then she said, or orange juice with no pulp. And I just looked at it, and it's some pulp. So she might not be happy. And she says, sorry, I'm at work. Listen, this is kind of the problem with ordering yourself food when you're working. You know what I'm saying? Someone is handling your food. You need to be paying attention. If you're at work and you can't necessarily fault a driver for making a decision that you wouldn't make. You know, that's just a horrible position to put a driver in. All right, I hope that works out. Drop off went fine, of course. Anywho, I took a DoorDash now to go to Target to pick up 2 items for $12. It's going like 7 miles. Hi, how are you? Good. There you go. Have a great day. I love your tattoo.
Thank you.
It's beautiful. Okay, got a DoorDash for $9 to go 3.7 miles and go to Breakfast Station. Okay, we are on our way to Dunkin' now with an Uber Eats order. It's like $6.03 for 3.9 miles. I took a lame order, but it beats sitting around. Going to First Watch for $5.50 to go 2.1 miles, and I'm just hoping that this order is ready when I get there, because that's the thing about breakfast places. For some reason, they take a little while. Well, I went in to get some sushi. I got an order for the Wingstop that was right next door, and it worked out pretty well timing wise. I think it was like $6.40 something cents, don't quote me, for like 2.7 miles. So we went ahead and snatched that up. And in case anybody was wondering, I got a crunchy, spicy shrimp roll. Sprouts, as we know, has a Wednesday $5 and $6 sushi special. So if and when I'm working on Wednesdays and I happen to be around or out Sprouts, I try to get that for lunch or dinner, but mostly lunch. It's low in calories, and it's pretty filling. So that's what we did. All right, we're going to Lowe's. I hate going to Lowe's, and you know that, but it's not a pickup because every time I do a pickup there, they never have it. It's always somebody's already picked that up. But it's a shop, and somebody wants me to shop for them for a shop vac. So hopefully it's not super heavy. And then it's like 2 reams of tape and caulk. So I don't know. It was for $16.50 to go 8.8 miles, and 1.8 of those miles is just getting in there. So as long as I can find these things rather quickly and get the heck out of there, it's not really a terrible shopping order, I guess. And right now it's 1:30. I had nothing to do. I'm just sitting in there in a parking lot. I just ate my sushi, and so whatever. It is what it is. I'm just gonna hope for the best.